I want to talk about how you've grown to these 18 million users that you have today. Anyone can build a product and put a free plan on there, but that's not going to get you 18 million users. So you clearly did something right, even if a large percentage of them are students or whatever, people who are not going to pay. It's still a significant, number of people. So I think that from what I understand, most of that growth has come from content marketing and SEO. But tell me about how you got on that road, because it wasn't smooth sailing from the start, right? You were creating content, but you weren't really getting the results that you were hoping for.
Yeah, I'll go through the process. So first, this is how my thinking and our thinking was, and I think it wasn't necessarily correct. In our tool, maybe to a degree. I mean, it's good for branding, but I don't think so. I mean, it's two sides to it. It's fantastic because we're in such a huge market. Anybody can use our platform. We have a marketing person, a student, a teacher, CEOs, executives, any role you can imagine, whoever needs to create a presentation or visual, graphic, design, social media, they essentially can be our audience. Our ideal customers are more of the people that are businesses that are just a role. They have a professional role somewhere, whether it's a freelance or be a large company and so on. And so the traffic and acquiring those was first what we did was, hey, let's just get more traffic to our website. We're only getting a few thousand visitors a month. Let's get more visitors. How do we do that? Because it wasn't so much thinking about, okay, we didn't even establish our ideal customers until like 2 years ago. So it was just about more and more and more traffic. We got a lot of users and they were necessarily our ideal customers and so on. And also a lot of the traffic that we got, we looked at high opportunity keywords that like there's opportunities to get. I'll give you an example. On our blog, you can Google it. I don't know what we're placed now, but we haven't even focused or maybe even refreshed that page for a long time. But I think it's called like symbols and meanings. It's a blog post that we created years ago. And we might be still on page one somewhere. I don't know what it is now, but it used to be number one for many, many. And there's a handful of those that we created many years ago, and they generated a huge amount of traffic, a lot of people coming in, but no paid conversions from it. We didn't have attribution and all those things, like what page people are coming from, what revenue we're generating from one page, and what's the conversion around that page against the sign up. We didn't have any of those. So it's all about driving more and more and more traffic. But when you drive a lot of traffic, even if you don't have a lot of ideal people, or you still generate a lot of free users because it's open. They click, takes a second to sign up. So we acquire a lot of those users. The last few years, we've been more and more focused on what we write about, what we target, and so on. So we don't really focus much at all on these high traffic opportunities. We've probably exhausted most of them anyway. We focus on like what is the product solution and what is the ideal customer, what solution they might be looking for. So we write those. The challenge problem in it is that you have to write a lot of content. They generate very little traffic. Even if you're on page one, it might get like 300 views a month or 500 views a month, but they're more ideal customers. So the conversion rate can be a little bit higher. So I hope that answers your question. But content marketing in short and focusing on SEO has been something that we've invested a lot of time and effort on over the years. And I don't want to make it sound like it's, you just get out there and just write a lot of content, and the more you write about it and it sticks. There's been a lot of figuring it out and works, and we're still figuring some things out, but we kind of have figured out the formula of what works for us. And we just are working on scaling it more.